So I'm scanning the ads for Harbor Freight last winter, and boom, there's a big weekend sale. I head down to my local store, grab a cart, throw in some odds and ends, and make my way over to the compressor aisle. And there it is, the Fortress 30-gallon gas-powered air compressor. It's in stock and ready to go. I pay my money, pull around the back, and they load it up in my truck. Easy enough, right? Well, not quite. That thing is heavy, and it's about 570 pounds of heavy, and there was no way I was just sliding it out of the bed of my truck. Fortunately, it comes mounted on a pallet, which made unloading it with my tractor a whole lot easier. So next up was unpacking. And Harbor Freight does a pretty good job of boxing and protecting the compressor using thick cardboard. Of course, I save the cardboard because, well, that's what I do. Now it also has some interior padding and plastic wrapped inside a wooden cage, and it's pretty solid. After that, I wanted to make sure everything was there, so there was nothing broken or nothing missing. And once I thought everything looked good and I had a pretty good feeling it wasn't going to go back on the truck for a return trip, well, I moved it to a good spot and I unloaded it. Now, before I bought this compressor, I'd gone online and I'd looked for videos from people that had actually purchased this, used it, and could share their opinion. And other than a promotional video from Harbor Freight, and I think another one that might have been at a trade show that was very short and brief, you're looking at the only guy that's doing a review on one of these. So I've put about 20 hours on the machine so far, and according to the manufacturer's recommendations, now is when I should be changing the fluids after the initial break-in period. So I've had enough time using this to form my own opinion and to see if it's really worth the money. So from here, I'm going to go over the specifications, the features, the setup, the cost, the pros and the cons, and ultimately whether this is a thumbs up or a thumbs down. But real quick, before I move on, there's one question I want to answer, and that is, well, why would you buy a gas-powered air compressor? My main building has become full, and so I put this building up several years ago, but I never intended to run electricity to it. But as things turn out, we do a lot of woodwork, carpentry, so we've got power equipment. We also work on tractors, old trucks and cars. We do welding, sandblasting, auto body work, and painting. Most of the equipment we run off of generators. So it's just become a necessity that we need a capable compressor that can keep up with our needs. And this is versatile enough to do the job. I believe this was probably designed for carpenters, roofers, mobile mechanics, things like that. So, you know, it is portable and you can transport it around. But it's, in my situation, has the potential to give me the best bang for my buck. So this has got a 30-gallon tank, and I'll probably be adding an additional 30-gallon tank just for some added capacity. It's got a 420cc Predator motor. I think these are rated at 13 horsepower. And, in my experience, they've proven themselves to be a pretty solid engine. Now these units are equipped with an electric start, which is optional because it's also got the pull handle here. They run about 3,200 RPM. They've got a noise level of about 96 decibels. Measurements on this whole thing, and I'm just giving within an inch or two, I believe it's 45 inches tall and it's about 43 inches wide. And this is rated to put out 24 CFM at 90 PSI. I think 25 CFM at 40 PSI, and it's got a maximum pressure of about 175 PSI. Now there's a sight glass over here for the pump, so you can check the oil. It's also got an hour meter down here. It's got a full roll cage, and it's got a lid right here with some hydraulic struts on each side. So it's pretty nice. So the feet on this have holes, so you can mount this to your truck bed or any solid surface. There's also access points on both sides of the tank for you to run your hose. So you can do it either left side or the right side. I think the returns on these are 90 days, no questions asked, and I think 2 years on the emission system. There is also a low oil shutdown, and there's also a pressure relief valve And on the back, inside this cage, there's a belt tensioner. I am going to briefly cover the setup on the compressor, and then we're going to start it up. There is little to zero assembly required once you get this out of the box and you put it where you want it. Just take some motor oil, compressor oil, then go ahead and fill your pump and your motor up. Oh, by the way, it is not included with the unit. And nowhere on the box and nowhere inside of the box did I see anything indicating otherwise. There is a tag affixed to the roll bar that says, you know, make sure you check your fluids before you start it every time. Anyway, I drove back to Harbor Freight. 3 feet across the aisle from where I bought this, I picked up a bottle of compressor oil. So got the motor oil, got back, filled the motor, filled the compressor. Oh, and by the way, there are no battery cables included, nor is there a battery tray to mount a battery with that comes with this compressor. Kind of disappointing there. I have some old cables that I kind of jerry-rigged up here, and I did not wire them the way that the manual says, but that's neither here nor there. The pull handle does work, but this is not for somebody with limited arm strength. The starting sequence for this compressor is pretty straightforward, whether it's pull start or key start. The bottom lever right here is the fuel on-off switch, and it will go all the way to the right. The choke lever is just above it, and it stays closed to the left. The pilot valve, turn that straight up, and then the key would be in the on position. Also, the tank is completely empty right now. I'm going to run this compressor till it fills up and idles down, just so you can see for yourself how long it takes to fill this from start to finish. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about cost. 3 or 4 months ago when I bought this compressor, they were listing for $18.99. Now since then, they've gone up to $19.99. And so without a special of some sort, you're not going to get one of these out of the door at Harbor Freight with tax, probably for less than $2,100. Now I had been laying in wait for a special, and a 20% off coupon came up that weekend, and I jumped on it. And my out the door price, tax, title, dealer prep, destination fees was $1,711. It's a heck of a price. Also, it's worth mentioning, when you're paying for this they will offer you an extended warranty, which is 2 years. And I believe the cost is $630. Now this is my opinion, but the biggest failure points on this compressor are going to be the pump and the motor, both of which are sold at Harbor Freight. And combined, they will be less than the cost of an extended warranty. My opinion is I would rather keep my money in my pocket and spend it as needed rather than just give them another $630. Also, I'm going to post some examples here of some other similar gas-powered compressors in the same horsepower class, tank size, and you can see this is the cheapest in its class. I'll start with the cons. Some of them I've already mentioned. Number one, this machine is noisy. It's 96 decibels noisy, and that's comparable to a lawnmower or a chainsaw. So if you're working in a small confined area, it would probably behoove you to wear some hearing protection. The motor does put out a lot of heat. It'll burn you. There are exhaust fumes for something like this too. I'm in an open shop right now. Doesn't affect me, but in the future we're probably going to run a pipe right out the wall here, and we may build a cabinet just to buffer some of the noise. Now, from a customer service, even a business perspective, the majority of people are going to be using the key start feature. They're not going to be pulling on this rope. It makes sense to me to throw in, for the price of this unit, to throw in a couple of cheap cables, a battery tray that either clamps to the roll bar or is welded to it, and some fluids. When I was having this put into my truck there at Harbor Freight, the guy at the loading dock had told me just recently they had a customer who bought one of these, took it home, did not put oil in it, didn't know, ran it for 20 minutes until the motor locked up. He took it right back, and because it was under the 90-day, no questions asked warranty, they exchanged it, and he went home with a second brand new compressor. Whatever money Harbor Freight was saving on battery cables and a battery tray, I think they lost it on that deal and then some. So looking at the pros on a machine like this, it's a beast. It'll run anything I throw at it. As you could see from the previous segment, it pumped up to 175 psi. I immediately opened up the DA. It bled down to 150 psi. The compressor kicked on, and it held that for as long as I ran the DA. It's off-grid friendly. Whether you're a mobile technician, you're poor, you're a homesteader, you're off-grid, you know, you're a hillbilly, you're Amish, I don't know, it doesn't matter. You can take this anywhere and run it, regardless of whether you're on-grid or you're off-grid. Parts. I suspect the majority of this machine came on a slow boat from China. However, Harbor Freight has 1,600 stores in the United States, so there should not be any problem going into any one of them and getting the parts you need to replace whatever's failed on the compressor. Lastly, I went onto Facebook Marketplace and I did a search 500 miles in every direction for the 30-gallon Fortress gas-operated air compressor. Now, I had hundreds of gas compressors come up. None of these, not a single one in 500 miles. Now, I know these are selling, so that tells me that the people that are buying them are hanging on to them. And right now, there's none in the market. That also indicates to me that maybe the resale value is going to be strong. Overall, I'm very happy. I'd give this a thumbs up. Well, when it's all said and done, I'm happy that I bought the Fortress 30-gallon gas compressor. If you own one of these units, be sure and share your experiences in the comments below. And if you've got any questions or if I missed anything, I'll be happy to answer everything. Anyway, from all of us here at American Outdoors, thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you again soon.